Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I am Suzana and I love sharing my thoughts and opinions on luxury makeup. So if that is your jam, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And I also do ask that you please like this video. That is what helps drive my channel a little bit more. So I would really appreciate if you hit that thumbs up. Now for what you guys are here for, Marc Jacobs has released two face palettes and I have them both to share with you guys. We are going to do a comparison. I have not yet used neither of these palettes on my face yet, but I have already swatched them and I'm quite excited. So these are called the Omega 3 palettes. So each palette comes with a blush, a bronzer, and a highlighter. So first we have Tantastic Glo. This is the lighter of the two. It comes with a peach pink satin blush. It has a light neutral bronze, which is matte, and a golden peach shimmer. So this is the highlighter. And the Tantalize Glo is the darker of the two. This one has a rose pink satin blush with a warm deep bronze matte bronzer, and then we have a rose gold shimmer, which is the highlighter. I also went ahead and swatched both palettes side by side so that we can see the difference in shades, and it is quite different. So on the Sephora website, it does say that this is a limited edition palette with crave-worthy blendable shades of blush, bronzer, and highlighter in packaging inspired by swirls of cream and coffee. Yummers. And then it also says, like a coconut latte, this covetable trio has a delicate coconut scent. And it actually does. So I have the original bronzer from Marc Jacobs. I've had this for years. This is Tantastic Omega bronzer, and this also has that coconut scent. I am usually not a fan of coconut scented products. I much prefer products that have no scent, but coconut is just not a scent that drives me to purchase a certain product. However, the scent of this one I've always kind of enjoyed, I think because it's just the perfect amount. So this I really like, and you know what, let me go ahead, since I already have it open, and swatch this one next to the other two. So this here is the original Tantastic. This is the lighter bronzer of the two new palettes, and then here we obviously have the darker bronzer. So let's swatch. I do see a difference amongst all of them. And yeah, the original, I mean, the shade of this one is just perfect to bronze and contour with. This is an all-time holy grail bronzer of mine, and I have not actually used it in quite some time, but it is beautiful. This shade looks gorgeous as well, so I'm excited to see how it looks on the face. And then this one, I am going to have to be very careful with how much of this I apply, because the darker palette is of course intended for those with a deeper skin tone than mine. Now I am a little bit afraid of the highlighters in here. I don't remember the name of the highlighter that I had bought from Marc Jacobs maybe a year or two ago. I ended up returning it. It had so much glitter embedded in it that I was not a fan of it at all. I actually returned it, which is a little rare for me to return things because I don't typically do so. I do though have Guilty, and this one I don't like. So I'll go ahead and swatch this one next to the other two palettes that I also have. And this is just for reference in case you guys already have Guilty. So this is Guilty, this is from the lighter palette, and then here is from the darker palette. As you can see, this one's just too dark for me, which is why I don't really use it. It just does not work out for my skin tone. I'm a little bit afraid of the lighter highlighter because it's a little bit too yellow gold, and I'm not usually a fan of these type of shades for my skin, but this rose gold one looks stunning, so I really hope I can get away with this one. So honestly, I was just going to buy the lighter palette of the two, but because this highlighter in here was just not a shade that I was really feeling, even online, I was like, oh no, that just does not look like it's going to flatter me all that well. I decided to go ahead and also pick up the darker shade just because, in my opinion, this color here just looks so much more beautiful. These are a little bit, I don't want to say rough, but I don't know, it just feels a little grainy. I'm afraid to say that as well. Not in a rough way, but it just doesn't feel as soft as other products. I don't know, it just has a little bit of a graininess when you're swatching it directly from the pan, but once I swatch it onto my hands or my arms whenever I was doing the close-ups, I didn't feel any of that. It actually felt nice and buttery, but I just did want to point that out. I don't know, in case anybody was wondering. So okay, the plan is to apply the lighter palette. So this one is Tantastic Glo on my left side, and then I'm going to go in with Tantalize Glo on the right side and just see how these compare. I did notice when swatching, this deeper palette is extremely pigmented. The blush in this palette looked so gorgeous, but just like I said with the bronzer in here, I'm going to have to go in with a light hand when I use the blush in here as well because of how pigmented they are. And the lighter palette does have a pretty light bronzer and blush, so I think I'm safe to use this just kind of however I please. So I'll go ahead and apply these, and then I'll come back and share with you guys my first impressions on these products. Okay, so here we are with Tantastic Glo, and then on this side we have Tantalize Glo, the lighter shade at number 200. I really like the blush here as well as the bronzer, so I did end up using the same brushes for both palettes, but I also made sure to wipe them off before I went in with the darker one. I don't know why I insisted on using this brush. This is my Marc Jacobs, the bronze brush. I think just because it's been so long since I've used it and I'm using Marc Jacobs products, I was like, let me use this and also kind of see how easy or difficult it'll be to pick up a product considering the size of the pans. And yeah, with a big old brush like this, it was a little bit hard to just focus on the actual bronzer once I went in to dip for a little bit more, because I did find that I had to build both of these shades just a tad bit. I mean, it didn't require a lot of work, but when I did go in to pick up a little bit more, I made sure to pinch my brush to make sure I only focus on the actual bronzer. So I will say maybe don't use a brush as big as this, but I'm sure you can use something like this one here, and this is what I had originally brought out to use, but then I was inspired by Marc Jacobs, but I actually really like this brush to use for my bronzers. So something like this would be perfect. I mean, these pans, although they're smaller, they're not tiny, so it's not impossible to use. I would go as far as to say most of your brushes with these palettes. The number 200 Tantastic Glo, I like these two shades. I am not, and I knew I was not going to like this highlighter. Even when I got it in and I swatched it myself, I was like, ooh, this is just not gonna be for me, and it isn't. Maybe once I get a tan, it might work a little bit more. I just wish, considering that this was created for people with lighter skin tones, I just feel like this blush, or I'm sorry, I just feel like this highlighter is just a little bit too deep to use as an actual highlight. Yeah, maybe once I have a tan, I can get away with it, but I mean, I already know that was not going to be one that I liked very much. This other palette here, I actually really liked. Again, this is Tantalize Glo number 250. The blush in here is beautiful, very pigmented, so you have to go in with a light hand. I might have gotten a little carried away, but you know what? It just means that this is going to be good for people with deeper skin tones, so I am not going to complain about it. Fortunately, I am able to, or I will be able to make it work for myself, but I will definitely need to go with a very, very light hand. And I really liked how it applied with my Surratt cheek brush. Really nice for that. The bronzer, actually, I think it also worked really well. Again, not with this specific brush, but you know what? Let me go ahead and just apply a little bit more. Not at all that because I think I need it, but just to kind of see like the color on me a little bit better. Because see, with a brush like this, I have better control. So see, like it's deep, but I feel like I can get away with it, right? I think so. I mean, obviously be very careful with how much I'm applying or using, but yeah, I think it's nice. So I'm really happy with both of these products. The highlighter in here, and I guess that's why it feels a little bit rough. I think they're just too pressed in on the pan. Like I don't really detect any highlighter on my skin. I don't know if you guys can see anything. I am here up close and I cannot detect anything. So it could be the brush. I did use my highlighter brush from Surratt. So let me try it with this other brush. This is the Mini Cheek from Sonia G. And I really like this color, so I hope I can make it work for me. It just seems like it's hitting hard pan. You guys can see there. So I'm not liking that. Okay, but that's better. Oh, this one's beautiful. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I love this palette. I do feel like my makeup is looking a little bit patchy, but guys, honestly, I've just been really struggling with my skin lately, so don't give me a hard time about it. Please. But you know what? I am quite happy with this. Yeah, I'm really happy with them. I really like the packaging of these as well. More in person. Honestly, when I saw the packaging online, I was like, yeah, I don't really care for them, but they have a really nice weight to them, so they feel luxurious. I love the sleekiness of this type of packaging. You guys know it's just my type of jam. The mirror is huge. It's just very nice and sturdy. So they're really beautiful palettes. The only downfall for me for these palettes comes from the lighter palette, and it's that highlighter that I'm just not really liking. All right, so let's just do one last look of each side. So again, this is 200, and here is 250. Alright guys, that is it as far as today's first impressions on these two Marc Jacobs Omega 3 palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. If you did, please make sure to give me that thumbs up. And if you have not yet, do not forget to subscribe so you do not miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Until next time.